Hello, welcome to Polished Power. And I'm Audrey Douglas.
I'm Giselle Mustafina.
And today we want to talk to you about making more money and how you can do that with just your mannerisms and knowing simple business etiquette. So
So, what is the knowing business etiquette and manners? It will help you make money.
easy,
Easy.
easy, because
Wow.
most people out there don't have it. And they don't realize how they're turning people off with simple little things that is trainable. And there's a knowing, like we've talked about before, either you know it or you don't. And it's very clear. And it separates the people from if you know and you don't know. Today, we want to share with you some stories to make a distinction for you and to invite you to the knowing group.
Yeah. Why I'm asking, because a lot of people so many times asking me is that why I need to know how to, handle with my utensils, or why I need that etiquette is not in our days. I don't need it. I want to be free. I want to do whatever I want. I say, of course you can do whatever you want, but you'll be as the most average people. But if you would like to go and make, like you said, more money, people will recognize that right away, even without talking, just because of your manner. That's so
Yeah.
interesting. It's just noticing.
The way you show up in everything says something, right? We
Oh
talk a lot
yeah.
about communication in our trainings, what you're actually saying, the tones, your appearance, how you're, eating, everything. I mean, I can remember I was at a very prestigious business group and a young gentleman came in, and everybody there is dressed in business attire. And he came in jeans, t-shirt, and with his headphones on. And I was so amused, and you could tell that he was just like, I don't care, I'm here, whatever. It was a little bit rebellious, right? But, I couldn't stop thinking the whole time. Like, I kept like, wow, interesting that he chose this for this meeting. And what does that say to the room, right? And the when I tuned in, I kind of got a like a screw you kind of vibe, and like I'm gonna do whatever I want, which is great, and that probably works in some business environments. But for a young person building their career, for me, it was just so interesting. It's like, wow, you must not have put the time, the effort, and it's kind of saying I'm going to be the outlier in what I know to be this group. It was really interesting. And a lot of people are doing this not consciously, some consciously, but yeah, that this is about how do you want to feel and look and show up, and what do you want to magnetize to you?
It's the same. I like your example because if you will start thinking about that, okay, when you see the person, what first come up to your mind and what do you see and what you think about this person? Because people, with the first 5-10 seconds, you will actually somehow to make a decision who is this person and what I can do with this person. Do I want to talk to him? Do I want to, deal with this person or not? Because that is how we attracted to people, or they are just actually, you just want to run away from that person.
Right.
Even,
Yeah. And I have the opposite story just this week, too. I went to another networking event, and there was a woman that was very elegant in a red dress, bold, super in shape, fit. You could tell that she really works on her body and cares for her body. Hair nicely done. You could tell that she was intentional with everything
mm,
she put on her body that day, from the makeup, the hair, the dress, and
appearance.
her structure. Yeah. And instantly I was like, wow. I said, I love your dress. And I kept like wanting to just like, I was just so magnetized her. I'm like, I
So you
want to
want to
sit
talk to
next
her, right? You want
to
to
her.
talk to her, you want to somehow.
Yeah. And then we made a great connection and we shared business business referrals and we, shared what we got out of the event. And now there's a new friendship and networking opportunities just from that, right? Where there was plenty of other people in the room, but I was like, who is that? So it worked.
So they
Yeah.
were playing, but she was not.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And just even the way she sat at the desk or at the tables where everybody, kind of slouched and looking at their phones. And, the whole time she's, sitting up, very attentive and engaged and interacting and enjoying herself. It was just, you could tell a big distinction between who felt obligated to be there versus, okay, she's enjoying herself. And when you're enjoying yourself, that is really magnetic because I'm like, what are they doing that I don't know? Like, what's their secret?
You have to spend time to prepare that, as that is the
Mhm.
skill, that's your time. Yes, you have to think about that. Put your hair together. You have to know how to put the makeup. It sounds like a lot of work and say, why I have to do that? But again, if you want to make money and you want to meet right people, how, well, our mentor, he said, feathers has to match.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Thank you to
Hmm. Hmm.
reminding that. And some people say, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know anything about style. I don't know how to put the makeup." Hello, it's a lot of resource, free resource. You don't want to spend money or time. It's like YouTube. Instead of watching some on TikTok, even on TikTok, they can teach you how to do makeup or how to put together some tips about styling. If it's not, if you have more money or you really want to find your style, they can hire you. They can hire any stylist who can help you with that. Even if you will learn some basic what is good for you, for your body type, and for your which color will be good on you, that make it a lot of different. I did that last year. I just found a stylist create some image for me, which one will be good for me right now, what I'm doing, and which style will be appropriate. Like I changed my hair color because it was
Yeah.
darker, and now I
Great.
love it because I look much better for myself. But nobody told me, or I didn't know that. I was thinking it was good too. It's not like bad. But if you watch my YouTube videos previously, you will see the difference. And that was really opening my eye, oh, you can do actually something else just with the length of your hair, the color, your clothes, because sometimes we don't know, we really don't know which color is good on you. Especially when you change color also. It's like your hair,
Right.
it is a lot of fun actually. I just
And
have,
to experiment, right?
yes,
And to
yes,
try new things.
yes.
I know you and I had fun going to the mall and exploring and trying different things. And we see what works, what doesn't work, what lights us up, what doesn't light us up. And yeah, and I have a client who was just kind of business casual, working in a hospital to then we went out and we did some styling work and we explored different styles. And just from that experience, she was like, my eyes are so open. Like I tried things I never would try. Some worked, some didn't work, but now she has like a whole new lens and is able to expand what she thinks can work and what can't. So, I tried a lime green blazer and I bought it and I was like, this is great. And then I came home and I'm like, yeah, it's really not for me. Right. But it's like, hey, I tried something bold and it's great. But then I realized, okay, no, this doesn't work. And so you're going to have those moments. But to try and experiment, I think we've all had that moment like where we dyed our hair and maybe it didn't work, or the opposite. So great that you had the good experience to really be bold and try new things. So I know I work with some young girls and they're like, oh, well, that's not me. And da
Yeah,
da da
yeah.
da but they've never tried anything like they're very set in a certain way, so just explore and try new characters, have fun. You don't have to marry any of them, right? But just see, what if, I know some of the times I tried on like the craziest things that I think I wouldn't like and I'm like, oh, okay,
Yes.
yeah, I like.
And also, I like to watch some videos when different stylists they just share their tips. And I said, why not to use, you know how I love scarf and how I like to play with that. And I said, wow, when I have time, I'm just playing with different piece of clothes. I said, oh, I didn't even try that. I didn't even think about that. But when I watched that YouTube channel or some videos, I said, oh, let me try. And when you say to yourself, okay, what if I will be aware how people put together and what you like? And then don't afraid to try, like you said. It's really a lot of fun. Okay, what we can suggest to our audience to do as a tip from today?
Yeah. Well, explore, have fun, try new things. And if you need help, hire a professional. And Giselle and I are here to support you in everything from learning the business etiquette to styling to presence to your communication. So, all of that is tied into the success of your career, your business, your brand, your reputation out there. And a lot of people aren't thinking about this on a daily basis. So, to really be intentional with every little piece and just practice. You don't have to be perfect, but maybe as you walk through a doorway, you put your shoulders back, you look up, you walk in a different way. And so a lot of our workshops and trainings can help you with some of that. So we would love to be a part of your growth journey in that. So definitely reach out to us.
Reach out to us, subscribe, and we have more tips on our channel. So see you next time. Bye bye.
Yes, see you soon. Bye.